The NASA is preparing for a historic return to the Moon, and they have just announced the 4 fortunate astronauts who will orbit our satellite in the year 2024. This mission, called Artemis II, is an exciting precursor to the first manned descent since humans last set foot on the Moon over 50 years ago. In this video, we will explore all the details of this thrilling journey, from Artemis II's route back to the Moon to the more technical aspects, such as the upgraded suits the astronauts will be wearing. Join us on this 10-day journey through space and discover how NASA is leading the way towards a future where humans can explore beyond our planet. Revelation of the astronauts. NASA and CSA have unveiled the names of the 4 astronauts who will comprise the Artemis II mission, which will be the first in over 50 years to carry a crew to the Moon. This mission will orbit the Moon to test all the systems, including the new capsule and rocket, before landing on our natural satellite in 2025. American astronauts Christina Koch, Victor Glover, and Reed Wiseman, along with Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen, were presented in a large-scale event at the Johnson Space Center in Houston. This selection is significant as it includes the first woman and the first African American in history to be chosen to go to the Moon. The Artemis II mission is planned to make a 10-day journey around the Moon in the Orion spacecraft, which was successfully tested in the Artemis I mission in late 2022. This mission marks the first step in the next era of human exploration, and together with commercial and international partners, NASA will establish a sustainable presence on the Moon in preparation for future missions to Mars, as stated on the NASA website. We have already tested the rocket and spacecraft. That was a 26-day mission last November, and it passed all the tests. It was so good that we added additional tests during the course of the flight. And now we are going to put a human crew in it. It will be the first time we return to the Moon in half a century, said NASA Administrator Bill Nelson last week at a press conference. Over 50 years have passed since the Apollo program took humans to the Moon, and with the launch of Artemis I last year, NASA continues to accumulate knowledge to once again place human beings on the lunar surface. Furthermore, the Artemis program plans to send the first woman and the first African American in history to the Moon. NASA aims to go even further in its space exploration, and the Artemis program is the first step in establishing a sustainable presence on the Moon and preparing for missions to Mars. To achieve this, a new rocket and capsules have been developed, such as the Space Launch System, SLS, and the Orion spacecraft, capable of carrying up to 4 astronauts. The Artemis I mission will test the unique thermal shield, which will be essential for atmospheric entry on Mars. Additionally, engineer Eduardo Garcia Lama, the lead flight controller for guidance and control in NASA's Artemis mission, explained that the control system will execute all the necessary steps for the spacecraft to perform maneuvers in space and reach its destination. The Orion Capsule. The Orion Capsule was built by Lockheed Martin and can accommodate up to 4 astronauts on missions lasting up to 21 days. NASA has made advancements in technology for deep space travel, including life support, avionics, state-of-the-art power systems, and thermal protection. The Artemis I mission successfully tested Orion's heat shield under extreme temperature and re-entry speed conditions. The outer surface of the heat shield is made of avcoat, a reformulated version of the material used in the Apollo capsules. The forward bay cover protects the top of the capsule and the parachutes during launch, flight, and re-entry. It is covered with thermal protection tiles and is jettisoned at 7,000 meters to allow for parachute deployment. The crew module features a propulsion system with 12 small engines used for guidance and control during descent. A 10-day journey. To undertake the planned 10-day journey for Artemis II, the 4 crew members inside the Orion capsule must be comfortable. An aluminum structure with crossbeams, known as the backbone assembly, provides the floor structure where the crew seats are attached, along with crew stowage lockers. Most of the equipment the crew will need to live in space on future missions will be stored here. The 4 seats in the crew module are adjustable to ensure that astronauts can reach all the controls while wearing their pressurized suits. A series of adaptations will help the astronauts feel at home. Tanks and a dispenser provide drinking water and a simple way to rehydrate and heat food. The Orion capsule features a personal bathroom for the crew, unlike the Apollo missions where bags were used for urination and defecation. The new compact toilet is designed for easy use in space by both men and women. Additionally, there is a built-in exercise device so that astronauts can keep their muscles and bones active in the absence of gravity. In the event of a radiation event, the crew can take shelter in 2 large stowage compartments on the capsule floor, using onboard dense materials for protection. The Orion service module has 33 engines, including a main engine for maneuvers in space and 24 reaction control thrusters to direct and control Orion in orbit. The electrical power system consists of 4 solar array wings that can rotate to track the sun and provide enough electricity to power 2 3-bedroom houses, using a total of 15,000 solar cells. A renewed spacesuit. ENASA has unveiled a new spacesuit for the Artemis III mission, which the astronauts will use to return to the Moon after 53 years. The prototype suit was manufactured by Axiom Space and will be delivered to the space agency in the coming weeks. For the Artemis, II, and subsequent missions, 2 spacesuits will be required, one for internal use and another for spacewalks, functioning as a personal autonomous spacecraft. The astronauts of the Artemis mission to the Moon will wear the bright orange Orion Crew Survival System (OCSS) spacesuit, both inside the Orion spacecraft and in emergency situations, high-risk portions of missions near the Moon and during the return to Earth. The Orion suit can keep astronauts alive for up to 6 days in the event of cabin pressure loss. The suits are also equipped with survival tools and a life vest with a personal locator beacon, a rescue knife, and a signaling kit. The second Artemis generation spacesuit, designed for spacewalks, will be based on the xEMU prototype and will be designed by Axiom for the Artemis III mission. Axiom Space is designing the Artemis III spacesuit for the astronauts of the Artemis mission, returning to the Moon. The new suits will be more form-fitting, lighter, and accommodate at least 90% of the male and female population. They will also feature advancements in life support systems, pressure systems, and more. The suits are expected to withstand the complex challenges of the lunar South Pole and enhance our understanding of the Moon to enable long-term presence there. The Artemis III mission in 2025 will mark the first manned lunar landing since Apollo 17 in December 1972. In summary, NASA is preparing for the Artemis mission which aims to return to the Moon and establish a long-term presence there. For this purpose, new spacesuits have been designed for astronauts, including the Orion Crew Survival System, OCSS, and the Artemis II spacesuit from Axiom Space for spacewalks. These suits are equipped with safety technology and survival tools in case of emergencies. Additionally, the Orion spacecraft will transport the astronauts to the Moon. If you're interested in space exploration and want to stay updated on the latest developments of the Artemis mission, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to stay informed about upcoming updates. Thank you for watching.